Today on Makeshift, I get a train stuck between my teeth. Stop.
Wait for it.
Oh! I uselessly reinvent the wheel, only to find out that it was never necessary. Are you saying that these can request more than 256 blocks away?
Yes, I think so.
Oh.
Well,
I create a boogie bot. He can dance though. I think I could watch this all day. No need for the rest of the episode. This guy's got it covered. And I build a huge fleet of functional trucks and transit vans. We have the lava hauler, okay. Oh, and we're in gridlock. We've got lots of firsts for me today, so we're gonna dig into the nitty gritty a little. Grab a snack, sit back, relax, and welcome back to Makeshift SMP. Item transportation. That's what we're doing today. I have had this loading bay for I actually don't even know how long. It's been a long time, and I still have no way to get our items from other places in the world into here. And I want to be transporting those items with trucks. Obviously, we've got our lava truck behind me, and that's a great baseline to start with, but I need a fleet of transit vehicles. We don't just have the loading bay over there, we also have these little lanes right here we can also use for transit vehicles. And this one being closer to the actual storage room itself kind of makes sense. Like, it makes sense that the items would get dropped off here. So we can also add in some cool new doorways, and maybe we can even make up some little automation robots to kind of like drive around the place. That would be kind of cool, right? I think I could make those work with like rails. That'd be kind of neat. And so first things first, we're going to do none of that. We're actually going to go take a look at the new terraforming. It's looking pretty good though, right? I kind of want to start feathering in like the very dry, arid biome that I've got going on over here into something that's a little bit more lush, just so I don't have to do so much packed mud in the future. But as this kind of caps off this way, I want to have like a big retaining wall, maybe similar to the one we have over there on this side. And then we're going to start actually adhering to the actual shape of the island down on this side over here. We're going to be adding in a lot of artificial land, but we're going to do it in a pretty cool way. I think y'all are going to like, but that's for later on. We're not even touching that in this episode. Why am I hinting at it? Also, in between episodes, I decided to actually start utilizing these little storage vaults I had here just for display. Oh my God. Hello. I thought there was a mob that was shaped like you. Am I muted? I'm muted. Hello. I'm muted. Sorry. I was muted. Well, that was like a 2-hour long side tangent with K-Saw. We ended up getting the Guardian farm actually hooked up to lava and set up the foundations for how I can actually transfer items from the Guardian farm out to other bases. And I did end up recording a bunch of it, but it was really long. So here's a few clips of that. Bro's connection struggling. You're doing your best.
The server's. Am I there yet? Do you want to know my plans for this place?
Yeah. What plans for the episode?
Fly. Yeah.
Can you fly? I'm flying. Are you flying?
I've been trying to cross this chunk boundary for the past 6 rockets.
Is it even coming back?
If I can get.
Oh, it is. It's coming right now.
It takes a minute. Yeah.
Stop.
Wait for it.
Oh! In
the
name of the law! Wow, it barely fits.
No. I think we talked about this, and you were like, "How tall is the lava train?" And I was like, "It's 11 blocks tall," and you built it exactly that tall.
Oh, smart.
Yeah, we have a brain sometimes.
Sometimes. Here he comes, teleporting. Just slowly teleporting through the air in flight mode.
Listen, I'm having internet issues. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Should be able to pull into track station.
Yippers.
There you are. My SQ just
thing?
randomly stopped working again.
Oh, that's good. That should connect. Is it connecting? Why are you throwing your nuts at me?
Yes, yes it is. What should I call the station?
We should call this Guardian Kill and Central.
Guardian Central?
Fish Slapper 3000. I don't know, man.
Let's just call it Guardian Central. That makes the most sense to me.
All right, I'm grabbing pipes. I'm stealing your pipes. Stolen. Get wrecked.
Why?
Yes.
These are all regular blaze burners.
Yep. Didn't get to that yet.
Why? These are all regular blaze burners. Why?
What is wrong with you right now?
Well, they're all regular blaze burners. How do you plan on using my lava probe?
I'm gonna get straws. Just relax.
Oh, well, yeah. See, that makes sense.
That should all work. I just need to give this like a jump start. Bop.
You might. There we are. Perfect.
I'm just gonna keep giving them planks until the lava gets into the tank.
I can.
Oh, lava's made it. We're good.
Up here. Okay, I would recommend you keep a track of how much lava you're using.
I don't measure things. Are you kidding? Measure never, cut a million times, obviously.
Duh.
La 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 lava. La 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 lava. Love, love, la lava. La lava, la lava. Love, 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 lava. Love, 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 lava. Lava, lava, lava. Lava, lava, train. Lava, 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 train. That's how it goes, right? I think I nailed it.
Something like that.
There's always so many clips after I hang out with Ksaw and record, and I can never include them all. I hope you enjoyed that segment. But yeah, what I want to do now is I want to actually get together some real transit vans that's going to be driving around our city. And I think the perfect place to build them is right here. So I'm just going to gather up a bunch of copycat items, and we're going to get a shell together for what a transit vehicle could look like. And I'll grab a spare shulker box and just throw all of that stuff in here. And I'm going to have a reference image off to the side here, and I'll try and throw it into the video if I forget. Scream at me in the comments. But I want to do like the shape of a van, I think, because it's like a nice modern solution. I think I'm going to do it slightly smaller than like the actual transit vans. And usually what I start with is the wheels, just so I kind of have a shape of how big this is going to be. And I do want it to be smaller than the truck, so I'm kind of thinking bada bing. Perfect. It's facing the wrong way, but whatever. And with these last few items, I should be able to just skadoodle this guy right into the world. Okay, so I want to have this as a reference size, and I want our vans to be slightly shorter and a little bit more van-shaped. But, I mean, we can take a lot of these same elements and use them. And the width of this thing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks between wheel wells, or between axes. I don't know. 4, 5, 6. So that's the truck, and our van's going to be a little smaller, and it's just going to be like that, I think. And then we're going to take some of these stacked half layers, and I'm just going to run these right down the line like this with some supporting blocks behind. I can go like that. And so that's going to kind of half cover the wheel on the back half, but on the front, we can do some sort of button. And then back behind here, we can do slabs to have like where the cargo will sit. I can do like a little bit of like a bumper shape on the front here. This has always been the part that I find most difficult about, like, trying to make player-scale cars. Like, oh my god, it's so massive. What? I think I've done this wrong already, though. I think this is supposed to be 3 wide, and I made it 5 wide. I'm stupid. So the other wheel is supposed to go there, which makes way more sense. That's like the size of the truck. We can do a nice back of the transit van with some copycat panels, like so. And I can even swap these for doors, actually. And it's going to have like a structure here in the center, which isn't really going to make sense, but it's the best I can do with a 3-wide vehicle like this. All right, so our doors will open out like that, and we'll do the same for the sides. And we're going to throw down a temporary block, and then we're going to throw these down right on top of here. And then we can just do some slices across the bottom here, I think. And then if I put some sort of glass on the inside of these, as long as it connects, it should work. Let's see what we got. I have been using light glass in some places. We do also have that new copper casing stuff. I think andesite glass casing actually might be the best move for this. So all I need is glass and andesite alloy. So if I throw this into a stone cutter now, and then throw it on here, yeah, our prismarine crystals are going to light it up a little bit. It does look mildly pink now that I'm looking at it. I thought that was like an effect from the copper casing, because it's like copper's like a little bit oranger, which I don't know how I'm going to feel about that, but let's grab this out before it completely does the entire stack. And let's see how this looks. I know already, I can see it already that I don't like this, and I think I would rather that it was something like this, maybe? Even that's a bit of a no. I think we could get away with some copycat layers. So we can definitely do the train controls here, and then these can be actual like windshield wipers actually. If I separate that there, it could work. And then back behind, we're gonna have train controls facing the other direction. We're gonna have the chairs on either side for the actual person that's going to be driving this. We'll throw in like a blaze burner right there. And this will be our actual driver, at least until I set up some other people to populate the area. Actually, can I double these up? Ooh, I can. I like that, because then I could do like a stripe all the way down the side of this if I wanted to. Although I guess I could do the same thing with bike panels. And those are the same thickness as panel. And I really don't want this to look so boxy. If I take these doors off and we do like a little bit of like a half panel situation over here, or I guess some half layers, And then we do the door right there with the copycat panels here. And the top of this, I think, is what's going to actually sell this as like an actual van, because I want to do like a rounded edge up top here, but it's kind of hard to pull off. And then I'm thinking if I do like some slices, some of these horizontal slices, I think that might round it off just enough that kind of sells it as like an actual van. Should I just do all of this as bite panels? It'll give me more customization details on the side. I think that actually might be for the best. Oh, and you know what? We could also do like a little bit of like a mirror type of thing that I have over there. Now I think for the trucks, with it sticking out so far, it actually kind of makes sense. But if I get my hands on some more of these layers or panels and I just place them like that, I feel like I saw this in a Life Or video. If y'all aren't subscribed or watch Life Or videos and you watch mine, why? He does what I do, but better. And then another one on this side that like it kind of looks like an actual, that could definitely be like a mirror. And I think on the truck, since I had 2 blocks of space here, I did like a half layer on the front, and then on the back I did glass to make it look like it was reflective. With it being right next to the door like that, I don't think I can pull off the same thing. But if I just make it black, or whatever the color of the transit vehicle is, maybe like a dark gray would look cool. We can even do a little bit of this illuminate casing on the back where the doors are, and something like that. And I could even swap these actually for some more of those bite panels. And I think if I switch up the texture a little bit so that it'll connect vertically but not horizontally, but maybe we could do like riveted. Yeah, I think that could definitely work. Also, does it seem like this is a little bit too tall? I kind of wonder, is this another spot where you can use bite panels? I think that's much more proportional mirrors like that. And you know, I mean, our other truck is black and the Monarch facility is black. I'm kind of thinking, what the heck? What is happening in my resource packs? Is that the only strat that's like that? Oh no. What did I do? Oh, that's good. Okay, well, now there's no way I can fit all my letters on the side of this van, but I think we can take some inspiration from my AVs, and we can steal the little logo that's sitting on the sides of them. See that guy right there? It's like a little miniaturized butterfly, or a miniaturized version of that butterfly anyway. And it also kind of looks like a little bit of an M. A little bit. You have to use your imagination just a skosh. That definitely works. I mean, that's the shape of the butterfly wing. Yeah, I'm thinking that looks a little bit better. I think it's good, but I also kind of want to do a version of this with just like one more block just to see what the difference would be. And so we're going to take a schematic and we are going to grab this area, or rather a schematic in Quill. Make sure the interior is looking good. I also threw in some depots above the wheels so I didn't have to cover it with like a layer or anything like that. And that'll actually provide us with a location to actually place in items. If I want to add more depots later on, I totally can. But for now, that's good enough. But if we've got this all in the right position and we've got all the blocks all the way around the outside that I want, and we are going to call this Blank Transit Van Small. And I'm going to save it and upload it immediately. Toss in another version right there. Make sure I got everything. I'm missing a bunch of stuff. All right. I'm going to grab the back of this, pull it back like so, and shift all of this back by 1. And I've just now realized I didn't super glue this first schematic, so I'm going to probably have to redo it. Dang it. And now we have like a medium-sized transit van. And I'm going to actually super glue it this time. Ooh, that was a lot of talky, but I'm actually, I've completely redesigned the front end of this. I realized that I don't like how long the hood is. So I swapped a bunch of stuff out, and this is, I think, gonna be my final version. I like this shape much better. But we have like just one block and it sits directly above the wheel, meaning that this entire front thing is so much shorter than this one over here. And also I'm gonna add in some of these, and oh my God, like what perfect block to put in like for like a grill. Iron block vents. You just get like little miniature, like it's just perfect. Freaking nailed it. And then I can add in more of these headlamps from bits and bobs. But yeah, much better shape. And I also decided that this train casing glass, or whatever this is called, train glass casing, is a much better fit. Especially if I'm making my trucks black. And with the brass highlights, it just kind of makes sense. So this guy will be our smaller one. This one will be a medium one. And then I'll maybe make like a large one. I've just captured a pillager, and I think I invented something ingenious. I just took some layers and I put a villager right next to him, so he's like constantly trying to shoot at the villager. Eventually, it will pacify him. I just gotta get away from him so he can actually start attacking the villager, but check this out. Yeah, he's shooting, see? But he can't really hit him because the arrows like originate from his line of sight and they immediately hit this layer, the half layer. And so our villager's completely safe. And that guy hasn't seen a bed in a while, so we shouldn't be spawning any iron golems, which is good. And before I got that guy pacified, I actually set up this as our largest version of our transit van. This one is obviously much larger. I think I added 2 blocks onto that one right there. And this one also has some side doors, which I think is really cool. We've obviously got the doors in the back as well. And I also made this one about a half a block taller. See, these ones sit a slab above the top of the border here, but this one has an extra border along the top and then a slab above that. And these are actually full blocks, so they'll connect to these slopes up front. Not too bad though, right? I also decided to swap out these front tire like little overhang things that I had before with some of these cool dyed placards we can do. I think it looks nice as a little hubcap, not dissimilar to what we were doing with the trucks over there. And as I grab the schematics for these different trucks, I'll be throwing these on the Discord for Patreons, YouTube members, and Twitch subscribers. Now, if you guys link your accounts with your Discord and you're a tier 2 member on YouTube or Patreon or any level of Twitch subscriber, you'll gain a new role, you'll gain access to a cool new channel, and you can also find all the schematics available to y'all. And in that same location, you can chat with other people who support me. If we get some like real community involvement going on, maybe we could do some community event stuff. I don't know. And with this last one colored in, I will grab the schematic for this one as well. This is my first time setting up any sort of Discord integration, so if it doesn't work first try, I'm sorry. I'm still working it out. Bear with me. And it's rather convenient that I actually schematic this truck into the world because I also want to start picking up cobblestone and sand and stuff from our cyberpunk tower where we have all of that stuff generating. I still have not started transporting it over here. I've literally had access to it for forever. I never actually set it up. And it'll be nice to get a few more trucks driving around the city. Oh, I forgot I have an extra floor in here. Ooh. 2 extra floors. Wait, how many floors do I have in this? 2 and 3 are completely empty. Yeah, this is where we're getting our sand, right? Yes. Okay. I was totally thinking about setting up like an actual clay farm, shipping the sand to it, but I've still got 2 more floors in this thing. That's one of the downsides of building massive structures and then putting farms inside them. I don't get to build as many small buildings, but I love a big building, so I can't really complain. Also, I cooked these up in Affinity. I just threw together some little PNGs that just have the word deliveries. Kind of modern, a little bit cool, right? And I can actually set these up in a graffiti, and it has no background, so it actually like takes on the blocks behind it. This guy, yeah, I can just upload him right into the graffiti, and like, I'm gonna abuse the crap out of this, guys. Also, how nice is it that I don't have to pay for Photoshop anymore? Am I right? But yeah, truck time. I want to get like maybe like a dump truck. Maybe we do like a bed that has like a dump feature. That'd be kind of cool. I wonder if I can make it work. Probably not actually. Not without disassembling and reassembling, and we already know that fills up my chat. It's very annoying. And I'm gonna hop right to it. This time in the form of a time lapse. Let's go. And there we go. We got 3 new dump trucks. 1 to transport cobblestone, 1 to transport gravel, and 1 to transport sand. Do I need all 3 of these? Definitely not. But I will have all 3 of these. I'm going to use these advanced display panels so much. And I mean, like, these trucks don't look overtly cyberpunk. They look just like normal modern. And then you add something that scrolls along the back, something that would normally just be like spray painted on. And it's like, oh yeah, it's cyberpunk now. Also, license plates. I love it. I'm going to finish up throwing in a bunch more of these painted lines here and over in our delivery area, while y'all listen to a word from our sponsor. For legal reasons, this is not a real sponsor. Back when our founder Roderick Roy Powell cut himself a little slice of heaven and started his farm, he would wake up before the dawn to care for his humble flock of chickens. It was on that farm that Roy unlocked the secrets to raising happy chickens, and it was in his kitchen he unlocked the secrets to preparing them into delicious home-cooked meals. With his passion and dedication, he became a household name, known worldwide for his truly remarkable chicken dishes. We all grew to love Roy's cooking, from his award-winning chicken sandwiches to his roast chicken dinners. After the near extinction of the chicken population, our scientists worked hard to revive our product for the communities that depended on us. And we have once again unlocked the secret to making delicious chicken dinners. With the development of our proprietary real chicken formula, we at Roy's Real Chicken made sure to keep that same farm-to-table deliciousness, and we're more than excited to bring that little slice of heaven back to you. Roy's Real Chicken. It ain't real if it ain't Roy's. Roy's Real Chicken, a biosphere company. Okay, I had far too much fun putting that together. That was, I don't know if I needed to put that much effort into this like stupid world building thing, but I did. I definitely did. And if you have any questions about what that might implicate about the world, feel free to drop those questions in the comments. It really helps me out. It kind of tells the algorithm that this video is worth watching. Also, if you'd like to like and subscribe, that would also help a ton as well. But yes, ask your questions about the implications of this in the comments. I'm not going to guarantee I'm going to answer those questions, but I want you guys thinking about it. What could this mean? Also, fictional companies. I mean, I might be goated at making up fictional companies. But as you can see, we have a bunch of new parking lines over on the delivery side of the building. And there really wasn't too much work to do over here in our new delivery bay, but I buttoned this one up as well. Added some little do not enter signs. I like those. I like that. Also, these have been a thing for several episodes now, and I don't think I ever told you guys what these were. These are meant to look like cameras, like security cameras that I've placed around the place. They're kind of everywhere. They're the little supplementaries cannons, and you can kind of angle them to face whichever direction you want. And so I can like literally like maneuver it to like face wherever. It's just facing in that direction forever now. Kind of cool, right? Now, obviously, I laid out a lot of the train tracks and stuff whenever I first laid down all of this area. And the way I did that before is I laid out all of the track first on the surface, and then I grabbed a schematic of it and then brought it down into the world. I have since cleared out that entire area, lit it all up so I can do maintenance and stuff down here. And so now the last thing I really need to do is to grab a bunch of train signals and train stations and make sure everything is connected. When I first laid this out, I actually added in this train station right here. I actually made this station as a place to stop and then back into the various parking spots up here to then offload items. So this station is good to go. We'll call this MNRC truck backup. So now whenever I want something to come to this station so that I can back into the proper spot, I can select it here from this menu. Ta-da! And our security bar is still working flawlessly. Now I just have to do the boring task of doing all of this stuff. And this is one of the other reasons I had two sets of train controls, one facing forward and then one facing back. That means that a train can actually go both directions, which is pretty important if I'm planning to back stuff up. And so I'm not going crazy whenever I'm installing all of this. I can actually number these before I actually install any of the train stations. All right, now we have 1 through 8 on these numbers up here. And now I can throw in a few train signals. And now I should be able to kind of guesstimate where these trucks can park. That's decently close, but it could come back a few more blocks. That's actually about a good spot. I think that's a pretty good area to stop at. So I'm going to go ahead and drop down this truck right here. This should be our sand truck. Yes. And now I can break this. And if I go underground here, I can go ahead and start gluing some of this stuff together. Now I want to have the back axle as one glue point, and then I want to have the front axle as another. So it means I'm going to kind of tear into my letter, which kind of sucks. And I think the best way to move forward is by having 2 bogies per like truck unit thing. I have just 1 bogie on the fuel truck, and it turns just a little bit wonky. And I think having 2 pivot points is going to look a little bit better. Now, if I go ahead and create a new train, it's going to say this block right here, which sits right below, never mind. Now this block, which indicates where we're going to drop down our first bogie, is going to sit right below that axle point. And if I free cam upward, that's exactly where we need to be. We want to be in that wheel well. So if I drop down my first bogie right here, I can throw a couple glass panes in there and it'll connect up nicely. Also, I probably want to clear away some of the blocks around the outside here so those glass panes don't connect to the sides. It just makes it look a little bit more clean. It's not super visual from the top, but I don't know. And I can drop down my second bogie right below that secondary axle. Now by dropping in a couple of these glass panes, we're good to go. And I've done all of that to say that I can also add in a train station on the other side of this bogie right here. What I can do now is I can grab this train, we can assemble it, we can name this train the MNRC Sand Dump Truck. And now knowing that the train station sits right in front of where the bogie sits, I can go to the back and we can align these train stations properly by placing them right there. And I think I can name these stations something as simple as MNRC 8. 8 being the number of the parking spot that I dropped this guy into. And now I've just got to align all the train stations along this. Now I know that whenever Ksaw did this thing for the shopping district, he also set up a bunch of these as like a way to like also pull forward. I don't know if that matters. Like he had it back in first and then pull forward. And then I think he connected the post boxes to this front facing one, but we'll see how this one works out first. Wait, what the? This truck has no freaking guy. Now, we have our Monarch destination for this truck, but I also want to have a destination set up where we're actually going to be picking up the sand. Luckily, I kind of already have the area for it. If I go down below here to install a new train station, should be able to pop this down like right around here-ish. Click that right there, and then we can name this the OG Tower Pickup. And any trucks we send over here to actually pick up items, we can send to this guy right here. I think I can link this to multiple post boxes. I'm not really sure. I haven't messed with that too much. Let's grab a post box. And this guy and this guy. And let's see if we can link all three of these to one train station. Now I can connect. Okay, lovely. And we're going to name this one Sand Drop. Can I also do that? No target selected. Oh, okay. I don't know if naming these is going to be like something that matters because these are technically outputs and I'll be filtering the items that are going in from this side. But yeah, I'm going to name them anyway. I don't know. We're still figuring it out. And can this last one reach? That's the question. Too far away. Okay, that's a problem. This looks like a job for the whole workshop. We need to go grab the workshop. I have been brainstorming. I've been trying to figure out, well, a couple different things. Initially, this guy was not within range of the train station. I just hopped in the server config and upped it a little bit. I mean, it was like 16, which is like, I feel like not very much. So I just upped it to 20. So now all four of these can reach our train station over there. I've also come up with a thing that I think is going to become a problem. If I turn on my waypoints and I begin flying away from my tower, you can see I am very quickly outside the range of redstone links. Right there, I just passed it, 256. Meaning that if I was to request an item from my facility over here, a redstone link over there wouldn't get that signal. Obviously, the chunk is unloaded, so that would be a problem. But luckily, I mean, this entire building is loaded in like a 5x5 around it, so that's not a problem. But relaying the signal over here is going to be an issue. I think instead, I'm going to have to literally make a messenger system. I'm going to have to send a package over to here, have a system read that package, realize I need to send cobblestone over to there, and then do that. Does that make sense? Is there an easier way to do this? I kind of don't want to do this until I like get feedback from you guys. I'm like a little bit scared I'm going to come up with this entire system and like y'all are going to be like, oh yeah, there's a really easy solution. And I'm just going to be, yeah. Although on the other hand, I don't really have anything to ship besides cobblestone, gravel, and sand, and that would kind of give us a use for the transit vehicles. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do I use the transit vehicles to like send messages? That would be kind of cool. Okay, and the logic for this is as simple as that, actually. I thought that was going to be way more difficult. It's literally that. Obviously, I need some way to dispose of the items after they get here, but I think as long as I have like a lava source down here and then some chutes below. Yeah, it's literally as simple as that. Essentially, we can ship over a singular item of cobblestone, gravel, or sand, whatever we want shipped over to the facility, to this post box right here. Once the package is received, it gets put into this packager right here, which automatically ejects it into this vault. And then it sorts through these funnels right here. Once it drops on this depot, the content observer, or the smart observer, I guess they're called now, is going to pick up that the item is there, because we can actually filter this for cobblestone, gravel, and sand. And once it detects that cobblestone, it'll send a signal here, which will unlock this to dispose of the item, and it'll send a signal here on a monostable circuit to request more items from whatever farm. So once it receives this signal, it'll pull a 9-stack package of cobblestone, and it'll send it down to our post boxes down below, which will then be sorted and picked up by whatever truck. So now, anytime I want to send, let's just say sand, I want to get sand down to here, I should be able to send a piece of sand over via our receiving box. It'll get dropped out onto that guy. It'll then get picked up and sent to that same frequency, and we should get a package through these guys any moment. Oh my god. Boom. Sand. I did throw package filters in all three of these first ones. This guy, I don't actually think I'm going to end up using for clay. I'm probably just going to end up burning off the clay because I'm going to actually set up a separate clay farm. But yeah, that's the logic, actually. That's it. Way simpler than I expected. And I should be able to replicate the same thing with cobblestone. Oh. Okay, it just took forever. And gravel. Oh my god. It works beautifully. And this is the logic for the other end. I'm over here at the Monarch facility and I have some factory gauges set up that is measuring the entirety of my storage system. Using that as kind of like a threshold switch, I can actually connect those to redstone links, and whenever I've met a certain quantity of whatever item, it's going to start outputting a redstone signal to whatever frequency I set. I can use this threshold switch-like action to request items. And I said this is the logic, but this isn't the final form. Pretending for a moment that this is my storage system, it's like all of it combined together, and this is a minecart contraption I normally use to automatically send items to my various automation processes, like restocking my toolboxes, stripping logs, making planks and slabs, crushing items, pressing things a stack at a time. Yeah, all of those processes, instead of using a frogport network, I'm using a minecart contraption to ferry the items across my base. I can essentially set up addresses the same way that you would with a frogport by using package filters and funnels, and having those funnels connect to portable storage interfaces. It doesn't really look like it, but this entire thing is all one big minecart contraption. It connects right over there. Now, getting that out of the way, if I'm pretending that this is that minecart contraption, I can have these factory gauges set up with certain addresses via package filter on these smart chutes, and I can constantly request one item at a time. And I don't really know if this is like the best way to do this, but instead of relying on the restocker gauge to always have one item inside this vault, which can definitely be fallible, I decided to actually output out of that with an andesite funnel onto a depot, meaning that there will only ever be one item at a time on top of the depot. We can then package that and send that on a belt to our post box, which is actually going to send that item, that package, over to our request box, which is where it's going to actually complete the request. And this actually didn't take me that long to figure out because I've technically already done this. Way back before Create 6.0, I kind of invented Create 6.0. I know that sounds like I'm bragging, and it's because I am. Essentially, I had a storage system using AE2 to actually interface with stuff. I had a storage system that could request items from across my base to one of my farms and have it shipped over to me via train, which is essentially the same thing that I'm doing right now. This is just way more compact because one, I know redstone and create a little bit better now. And two, Create 6.0 adds some logic in with these factory gauges. So now I get to bypass a little bit of the BS. But yeah, obviously we can get our one item on top of this depot, and then we can send a redstone signal to this packager. How do we know when to send the redstone signal? With the factory gauge frequency, the same one we have over on the wall. So by sending an output to cobblestone cyan terracotta, this thing is locking our timer here, which means it cannot send any pulses to our pulse repeater and then to the packager. It's saying, hey, we have enough items. We don't need to send any more requests. And you may be asking, Vi, why would you send it to a timer? Leave the timer for too long, it'll pulse too much, and then you'll have tons and tons of requests. That'd be bad, right? Well, one, no, it wouldn't really be that bad, but two, we have to set it up on a timer because if we send our request, this is a monostable circuit, meaning that even if our redstone link was to stay powered, this would never send another pulse out of it. And if the request gets sent and it doesn't go above the threshold, say we want 20 stacks of cobblestone in our system and it only brings us up to 19 because I pulled out like a bunch of cobblestone all at the same time, our system would be forever locked below that threshold, meaning we would never be able to send another request. We add the timer in as a bit of a failsafe. And I don't know if 20 minutes is the proper measurement of time for this. Obviously, I have all these items in stock already, so it's not that big of a deal. But every 20 minutes, whenever we're low on items, it'll send out another pulse, meaning we'll get another 9 stacks of cobblestone. Once every 10 minutes, that's probably fine. Does that make sense? Was that kind of crazy? Yeah. Anyway, we can use the items that get sent to this post box to get shipped out to our brand new transit vans. And those transit vans can relay our quote unquote message over to our tower to send us back materials. If there is an easier way to do this in Create Mod, I'm gonna throw up. I mean, at least I already had the logic and stuff invented. I didn't have to work my brain too hard. But this is delaying the video. So some trucks are functioning, but I keep running into this. They keep smashing into each other, and I think that's because I kind of did the tracks over here as like a throughway that then branches off into all these different parking spots, and I think that probably wasn't for the best. I think I should have the throughway kind of off to the side here, going straight through here, and then if I want these guys to back into the parking spots over there, I should probably have a separate track that they can pull onto and then back in, because they keep smashing into each other. And I realize that these train signals exist with like the brass thing on them because you can switch their mode. I don't really know how these brass versions work, but I know they're supposed to stop trains from going if it looks ahead of the signal that's in front of it and there's a train. Like if it can't go all the way through, it kind of stops it at like the first one. I don't know if I'm describing that very well. I think this might help. I just switched all of those signals into the brass signals and now they actually wait on each other. Oh, that's so nice. Wait, no. Stop it. Okay. Hey, that's what we like to see. Oh, okay. I think I avoided a crisis there. I was almost going to have to lay a bunch more track. And in addition to the dump trucks moving, we also have post boxes set up for each of our train stations over here. And I did actually hook these up to the ones that face forward. I don't know if that helps me in the long run, but I don't know. I'm fully willing to just copy Kesaw's ideas. I don't know how it helps me, but I feel that it does. Now, item shipment. I just got to ship the items over to here. And by ship the items over to here, I mean I need to be able to send requests. And so all of my transit vans are now trainified. And we can now actually start using these guys. Now these guys don't need tons of space. Technically, these should only ever be carrying one package at a time. So I don't even think I need to add storage to these guys. I think they're just ready to rip. I just got to toss together a couple of these train schedules and we can finally test whether or not our request network works. For the time being, I'm just going to go ahead and move this guy off to the side here. And we will use our largest transit van, MNRC Transit C, to pick up items from our post box. And then we can name this station MNRC Transit Bay 1. I can pull into that station and disassemble that train because I forgot a couple blocks. Now, this is kind of like my first time doing any sort of package transfer with these guys, so bear with me. I know for a fact I need to go ahead and set the station first, and we're going to travel to station, Transit Bay 1. We're going to retrieve a package, but I know the box on the other end of this is named request. So I should be able to just, like, whatever packages are named request, I should be able to retrieve them from my post box, which I actually need to link. Ooh, this is going to be way outside the range, isn't it? Yeah, it's way outside the range. Okay, but I can toss this guy right here. Oh, my little robot guys aren't really going to work on this end, aren't they? I guess I could have a robot that picks up from here and goes over there. I could throw together a robot really quick. If we give him like a little depot to hold, and then maybe like a couple arms, maybe he can just dance as he moves. His chest cavity can be the little portable storage interface. We can actually pick up the items, or the packages rather. And then he just needs a head, which I've got an extra smart observer. Is this guy a little too cute? He seems like he might be a little bit too cute to exist in the cyberpunk world. We can give him a minecart, which can be his feeties. And then I just gotta super glue all this together. And I want to make sure this isn't not locked to rotation. I want him to like go back and forth so he'll face which direction he's moving. I think this should be facing toward the direction. Give you back your minecart. Throw in a couple more of these. Go, little dude. Oh. It needs a controller rail, doesn't it? So if I push you now, go. Yeah, he's gonna face back the other direction. Oh man, I was gonna have him placing in the world be a way that I could offload the package from his depot. He can dance though. His little arms dance. I think I could watch this all day. No need for the rest of the episode. This guy's got it covered. All right, I'll fix it. We could make the depot a bit more like a backpack. He can still dance with his little arms as long as like... And then if he's facing away on this side, the backpack can still offload out the back, right? I just got to move this post box over one. Okay, so we send in the package. It gets onto the depot, and I can actually... Ooh, I can automate this. Hold on. If I have this guy facing upward, and then I drop an item on here. Okay, so if I just say... one item... Yeah, that's just going to output a signal, and then it's going to go. Oh yeah, and this guy needs a similar system. What happened to the item that he hit? Did they try to place things? Did it place something? Oh, it did. Interesting. I didn't think of that. Let's filter these guys. Chicken sandwich. So now if I throw a lever on there, it's going to assemble that. It's going to go. It's going to stop. So if I drop this guy right here, now we want to send the package from our depot across a couple drains and into that guy, which can just be a couple andesite funnels. When this is empty, I want this to turn back on again. So if I invert this, yeah, I think that should work. Kind of goofy, but it works. Now I just got to hook up all this nonsense to the storage system. Yuck. Hi. What's up?
So I just heard you explain all of this stuff, these thinglings. Question.
Please tell me there's not an easier way to do this. Please don't say.
Why not have a buffer over here that keeps like a small vault that keeps, I don't know, 3 vaults in stock, so like 60 stacks of items in stock over here, and just use the threshold switches or the factory gauges to request from the tower and have them sent here when the stock runs below a certain amount.
Did you just... Can the factory gauges like I'm way too deep into this sunk cost fallacy. I'm doing this whether or not it's smart or not. I don't care. Are you saying that these can request more than 256 blocks away?
Yes, I think so.
Oh.
Well, anyways, I'll be seeing you in my base later. Bye.
Oh wow, you just ruined the whole premise. The whole premise of my video.
That's it.
Anyway.
Also going in the bloopers.
Oh, this video is getting long. Okay, so this should be, I think, our final test. I now have a train schedule that's going to sit here at our transit bay 1. We're going to retrieve our package. We're going to send it on over to the OG tower. We're going to deliver that package, and then it'll loop back over to our transit bay. That should be all it needs to do. I'm just going to give this to that guy right there, and we wait. Obviously, he's going to wait for a package. Oh, well, never mind. He's just going to go. There was no package. I don't know. I'm still figuring out this freaking packaging system with trains. But I mean, at least he's on the road. Transit vans! Oh, I've just realized I've forgotten something crucial. These packagers do not have addresses yet. Oh, that's so annoying. Oh, it's so annoying. I'll be right back. So I scooted all of this guy a block forward so I could get in behind and add in a few of these signs to make sure we're sending these packages to the proper address. Now our request system is up and running, but I have taken all of the schedules from all the trains because we keep getting gridlock. I do not have enough roads or enough signals, I guess, for the amount of trains that we now have running around in this little miniature segment of the city, which is annoying. But to close out this video and just show that the proof of concept does in fact work, I'm gonna let loose 2 of the trucks. We're gonna have the transit van send the request over to here, and then we're gonna have, I guess, the cobblestone guy come to pick up the request. I just gotta make sure these are addressed to the right places. Can I do an asterisk on a sign? So it just sends all of this to whatever MNRC I want. I'm also going to change this so that it spends most of its time in this bay here. I'm going to change the retrieve package to item cargo condition, and then I want it to have more than 0 items. So as soon as it gets a package, it should move on. But for time being, it should chill here. I can quickly simulate the need for cobblestone or something like that by just toggling this once. We will make the request to cobblestone, and now we got a package here. This is addressed to OG tower request, and it's got 1 cobblestone in it. And now, if I go ahead and push you back into place, he grabs that package and drops it off over here. Or he doesn't. But we have, oh my god, the request is sent. We also need to go over here to our cobblestone guy, grab out your schedule, and hope everything's all good. Please work. Oh my god, the request was sent. I heard it unpackage. We should now have... Oh my god. Do we have... the lava hauler? Okay. Oh, and we're in gridlock. It's okay, it gives me time to fix this label. Now will you go pick up the stuff? Yes, okay. Okay, apparently I didn't have this updated to where it was actually requesting for the right package. So now I should be able to give that back to you. And okay, I guess I'm along for the ride. Okay, so this guy, Cobble Dump Truck, should be picking this guy up now. I've renamed this. Apparently it can't have the same address as what it's picking up. This flag should disappear right after the fuel hauler leaves. I don't know why this spot in particular has such an issue. Okay, it's moving on. And now, please go away, flag. Oh my god. It's real. It took a lot of hand holding, but at least the system works. And now we go back. And we will know it actually worked if this guy here receives the package. Please. Drop it. Oh my god! We've done it. It's done. It's beautiful. Also, I should probably find a way for him to chill here until he's needed elsewhere. But I'll figure that out later. This episode's been far too long. And yeah, obviously I still have to get the packages out of here and into our system and whatever else. But that's easy stuff. Stuff I can work on in between episodes. I'm definitely gonna have to figure out the gridlock thing. So if you got advice about that, please hit me up in the comments. All that being said, I appreciate you so much for watching. If you like the video, like it. And if you want to subscribe, you should do it. And I'll see you in the next one. I turned transit vans into infinite range redstone links. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.